Hello, good people from the internet. One more time, here I come to your screens to discuss one of my musical creations and how it came to be. Today, the song I'll discuss is Alone. I'm pretty sure, about 85% sure, that the origin of this song is the instrument for the riff. It's funny because traditionally I've never been inspired by sounds. My background is in the 80s. I learned music at the same time as I was an 8-bit computer buff, and I've grown to be as a composer. I tend to see things as skeletons because of the many hours of 8-bit music that I've listened to. However, I've found in this recent song cycle that the opposite is true. I've been lately getting very inspired by particular instruments or sounds, and that's what happened with this riff. The possible comparison, the possible similar influence that I can think of is a bit embarrassing for me, maybe. It's a proto 80s song that is Don't You Want Me by the Human League. I listened to this instrument, this keyboard reset, and it immediately gave me a vibe of something like Unhuman or Superhuman, something that should play alone, having the main spotlight, and like leave way to something more human, where a story is told or the character expresses himself. And that's common with the Human League song.
In a cocktail bar.
I knew I had all the questions, I didn't stand a chance. Another influence from the 80s that was probably going on. In those days I was listening often to a song by Billy Idol called Running with the Ghost. And maybe the ghost theme came from that side. Also, speaking of ghosts, I know the main theme of my song, "The Ghost Was Me." I know it's not original. I know it was the main leitmotif of a certain movie from the 2000s. I never cared much for, but I don't want to say the title, even though it's a 20 years old movie, in case I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And about the theme of the song, what happened after this riff, I started to mumble some stuff, as I usually do when I start to jam along and I'm on the hunt for a song. And I came to a point where I sang this alone, and I wasn't looking to write a song as sentimental as this, but when I started to work out the lyrics, there were two options I could think of. Either writing a protest song about people who's left alone in this world. There's a lot of them. Nobody seems to care much for anybody. Or I could look inside myself in my own biography and think of a certain situation where I felt alone. I took this second route. I started to look in my past, and I reflected upon which were some moments in my life where I felt as the loneliest. And this song is a bit of a meditation aloud about those moments. It was a period in my 20s where I was really down. It's like everything seemed to be crashing at the same time. And it's funny because, like I say, I wasn't trying to write a song, a sentimental song or an intimate song, but the song has had an effect of closure for me. It has helped me heal the wounds of that age. Whenever I hear the song, it takes me back to those years, to those people and the conversation we had and the drinks we shared. Like I say, the song is an evocation. It's like a meditation aloud, and my fear is that maybe it comes across to other people as too solipsistic. My hope is that maybe other people who listen to it can relate it to their own experiences of being alone in different contexts of life, different situations they have lived. I know the lyrics are perhaps a bit cryptic. I'm happy with the poetic style I've found, images I'm very proud of, and I know they've worked poetically, like I say, because of how they have brought me peace. But I don't know if it's a song that it's a bit too armored, too closed inside for other people to listen or to understand. I'm hoping the lyrics together with the music have a unity of purpose, and it works for other people too. Some of the poetic images I found, I'm really very proud of them, and they might very well be the best thing I write in my life. Things like burying a dream, thinking about it later, maybe it has an influence of Hubert Selby Jr., whose Requiem for a Dream I admire. Like Last Exit to Brooklyn, they are both good movies. I haven't read the books yet, but Requiem for a Dream, as a title, I find it a bit too solemn. No, it creates a sort of a distance with the audience. But saying burying a dream, I find it's like more dramatic, because it's something like hands-on. It's not something has died. It's something that you have to bury it, and it really connects me with that age where everything was awful, and on top of that, you have to pick up the pieces and do all the sad and embarrassing stuff. And there were moments where you wondered, how have we come to this? How can things change so much and in so little time? I'm also very happy, very satisfied with the image of the wave, and also dancing to a swan song. It was really my impression in those days. I was doing something for the last time and I didn't know it, and it's that when that happens, the previous happiness and previous joy, when you suddenly discover it was the last time, it gives a bitter feel to your memories. But it also, the things that only happen once also are precious because of that, because repetition also makes things more mediocre and more trite. So then the song gets into the interlude, and at that point, while I was composing the song, I got into a sort of Bohemian Rhapsody effect. The part kept growing and growing and growing, and I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, how to reach the final verse. So I kept adding stuff there, and I like it how it finally came out, because what it does is it's adding tension, and you don't even know as you are listening if you are even going to return to that third verse that intends to be like a summary of the experience, or just the song is going in a different direction. And then when finally that third verse comes, that third and final verse, it adds a new element. It's a melody on top of the rest of the song. It's a novelty over the two previous verses. That overarching melody, the inspiration, I think it was a song by Black Sabbath, Wheels of Confusion. Wheels of Confusion at the end has an outro that starts with a riff and a repetitive pattern, and it repeats a few times, and when you think that's the theme you're going to listen, then an additional layer of melody gets added on top of it. I felt like using that kind of same effect. There's a big difference, though, between the Black Sabbath song and mine, and it's that in my song, there's already a melody, the vocals. So to add a new layer of melody, it took me a lot of fiddling, because I wanted the new melody not to clash with the vocals, but at the same time be expressive enough to have its say. And that took a lot of trial and error and trying different things, and it's like the melody has to walk sideways, not to stumble upon my vocals. It was a fun exercise, and as a result of it, also something very cool happened for me, is that the melody sometimes creates four notes harmonies. That's quite strange for me, because as a composer I don't naturally think in terms of 4-note chords. It's very rare. I don't think some composers do. I'm more a meat and potatoes kind of guy. I guess more my natural style is power chords and simple harmonies, but sometimes I come up 4 notes harmonies, and I like when that happens. And in this case, that melody, I like the way it rounds up the harmony of the song. I like to think that the 2 first verses are like omens, no? Are like preparing what is going to happen in the third, no? And then the third is like, here it is. There's no going back. It's over. Now you're facing this, and it's over. All you can do is face it. And it's a melody that is, in a way, it's ominous, but I also think that it brings you the relief of knowing what things are. Even if it's something horrible, at least you know what it is. And that has been exactly, like I say, the result for me with this song. It's brought me a closure and clarity. So that's what I had today for you, to tell you about the genesis of the song. Thank you if you've reached this point. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the songs, and see you on the next video. Bye.